our job isn't to try to convince people who don't believe what we believe, because that will never happen, or it's very difficult to make that happen. But our job is to find other people who believe what we believe and then make really cool shit with them.
How do you recharge your batteries? How do you keep your energy? Because I believe, as we both mentioned, it's not always like that. All the doors are opened and all the people are really interested to work with us and to invest in this area. How do you keep your motivation, your resilience, your energy?
It's a good question, but I think it was even Seth Godin who said this, and I read this 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. I'll send you the audio book that I've listened to. I've listened to it 30 times because I still think about it. I still have his voice in my head when I come across people who don't believe this stuff or don't care about it, or try to prove that they're better than me because I don't have as much experience as them, or whatever they'd like to call it, right? And he said something really interesting. I think it was him. It could have been somebody else, but whoever it was said this something really interesting and said, our job isn't to try to convince people who don't believe what we believe, because that will never happen, or it's very difficult to make that happen. But our job is to find other people who believe what we believe and then make really cool shit with them.
Yeah.
And I'd listened to that ages ago, 5 or 6 years ago, but I hadn't really understood it, because for the first year, maybe even 2 years, I spent a lot of energy and time trying to convince people why this mattered. And I realized that was quite tiring, and it was reducing my energy, it was reducing my willpower, it was reducing my confidence. And I thought, actually, that is a giant waste of my time, because I have nothing to prove to them. What I need to find is the people who lean into this conversation, who intuitively get it, who understand it, and then go, how can we do something really cool together? And then eventually we'll find enough of those people. And eventually people who are cynical, who didn't believe, or who underestimated us, will then go, oh, maybe there's something there that I missed. And it's been funny from my journey over the last 4 years, people I spoke to 4 years ago, 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, who when I caught up with them for coffees, they didn't quite understand what I was talking about, or really get it, or didn't believe in it, or said come back when it's got some more people using it. And now those people are reaching back out to go, can we use it? And of course they can. I'm never going to say no to it, but it was those coffees with those cynical people at the start that made me realize, actually, why am I investing my time trying to prove to them that this matters, or it works, or it's important? Why don't I find people like yourself and all our other amazing elephant riders and people who use the game and go, hey, we all believe this and we know it can make an impact, so let's learn together and grow together and create stuff together to make the impact we want to have. And so I just stopped wasting my time with the people who didn't really get it, or were cynical about it, or said that it didn't matter or it doesn't work. And I said, well, that's fine, because you're allowed to have that perspective. And that made a really big difference, because I found my energy levels immediately went up, because I wasn't depleting my energy levels constantly trying to convince people it mattered. Which is part of my philosophy, like I was saying, around don't try to convince your leadership team that this matters. Find a middle tier manager, or find a level 3 or 4 tier manager who believes it, who's got a team that will be up for trialing it, and use it with them and really have fun creating and using the game and playing with the game and watching the impact it can make, and then find another person and do that within the organization. Because eventually the people who don't think it matters, who it doesn't work for, will then go, oh, maybe there was something I missed. They'll obviously never admit that, but some of them might be humble enough to admit it. But a lot of them will just say, okay, maybe I should take this seriously now. So I wouldn't be spending your time convincing those people up the top, or the ones who don't care. Find the people in your community who do care and build some cool stuff with them and make an impact with them. But there are a hell of a lot of people out in the world that do believe what we believe and understand that this is important and get it and see the impact. And it's like, let's find them first and connect with them first. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm still doing that now. I don't think I'm ever going to go away from that. I'm going to continue to do that. Yeah. Which is another reason why I give it away for free. Because then people can download it and play with it. And if they think it's a crock of shit, then they can not connect with us anymore, and that's fine too, because it isn't for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I know it should be for everybody, but it's not for everybody for reasons that we've talked about. But
yeah, very generous from your side to offer them for free, and it says a lot about you and about your approach. And as you said, people who are wanting to explore this further and to believe in it will invest in it as well.